Georgia Senator Saxby Chambliss and his Democratic challenger, Jim Martin, are still locked in campaign mode. Now, both men are now focused on a December 2nd runoff after neither campaign got more than the 50% of the vote. And Senate races in Alaska, Minnesota, they're also still in question as Democrats hold out hope for a 60-seat supermajority. Joining us now is Georgia Senator Saxby Chambliss. Three-way race, 48.8%. Who says 0.2%? Saxby doesn't matter.
It was close, 8,500 votes, and it'd be over with. And in any other state in the country, it'd be over with. But, you know, we got rules, and we hit the ground running the day after the election.
Well, look, I see that. I think this is about as safe a seat as they can be. But obviously, you're not going to take any vote for granted. I looked at your opponent's record, and I lived in Atlanta for 4 years. I think I know the town pretty well, and it's pretty conservative. Georgia is. I mean, this guy voted to increase property tax assessment by 150%. This is a guy who voted to raise taxes by $687 million, raise sales taxes 32%. This is a guy that I've got to believe, you know, with a liberal supermajority, he's going to have his arm twisted as a new senator and pretty much go along with Barack Obama and Harry Reid's agenda. That's why I'm pretty confident you're going to win if you're not.
Well, we feel good about it, but, you know, as you say, Sean, you take nothing for granted. We're going to be working hard. There's pretty clear distinction here. My opponent's locked at the hip with Barack Obama on tax increases and so many other issues that Georgians don't care about. I mean, we're excited about getting taxes cut, which, as you know, has been my history in the House as well as in the Senate. So we're going to continue to carry that message to Georgians.
I've been looking at other issues, too, that I know matter to people in Georgia. He voted twice against making English the official language of the state of Georgia. He voted 3 times against prayer in school in Georgia. I don't think that's going to go over too well when this comes down. Against mandatory minimum sentences here. Why was this even a race? Was it because a third party got involved?
Well, at the end of the day, obviously the Libertarian got enough votes to throw it into a runoff. But what happened, Sean, was that, you know, there was a tsunami that took place with respect to the economy, and people really were more concerned about their pocketbook, and rightfully so, because it is a tough time we're in right now. And the social issues, the other issues that are outside of the economy really didn't come into play. They will now with the presidential election being pushed to the side between now and December 2nd. We'll be pointing those things out to people.
Senator, it's Alan Colmes. Good to have you on the show. Thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate it. Why do you think you've been unable, maybe you gave partial answer in the last response to Sean, but why have you not been able to close a deal with the people of Georgia in terms of what happened on Election Day?
Well, listen, we had for the first time in the history of our state a 30-day advance voting period, and let's give the Obama people credit. They did a good job of getting out their vote early. There was a high percentage of minority vote, and I am tickled to death that as many Georgians as did exercise their right to vote. That's what makes our election process the envy of the whole free world. But we weren't able to get enough of our folks out on Election Day. That's a challenge to get them out in a runoff, but we look forward to that challenge, and I'm pretty excited about looking towards December 2nd.
Is there anything you would have done differently in your first term to have maybe created a different result on Election Day?
You know, there really isn't. Listen, I've never stared a controversial issue in the face and run the other way. I think people of Georgia sent me to Washington to solve problems, and we've made an attempt to do that. It's not always the popular thing to do, but I think it's the right thing to do.
You came under fire, of course, for that ad against Max Cleland, and people have talked about that ever since, the one where there was an image of Osama bin Laden. If you had to do it all over again, would you still have run that ad?
You know, that ad is a myth that just hangs around. If people had seen the ads that were run against me by my then opponent, they would think that was a lightweight ad. But, you know, politics is a contact sport. It's a game in where you have to define your opponent. And we're going to continue to work hard to make sure that we address the issues that are important to Georgians. We did then, and we're going to do it again.
So you would have run it, knowing what you know now, you would have done the same thing and run the same ad?
Listen, that ad was very fair, and it pointed out deficiencies in the voting record of my opponent. I've always pointed out the voting record of an opponent where I think a majority of Georgians would disagree with that voting record.
You're saying
once again in this campaign we've done that.
You're saying about Martin, he doesn't share Georgia's values. You bring up prayer in schools, as Sean mentioned, and English is official language, and you say he's soft on crime. Is that negative campaigning? And do you think that's the tone, a proper tone to set?
Alan, I think it's fair campaigning. People deserve to know what somebody's voting record is. I'm very proud of my voting record. I'm ranked in consistently and as one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate. My opponent spent 18 years in the Georgia House, where he was known as one of the most, if not the most, liberal member of the Georgia House. And I think people need to know and understand about that voting record.
I don't think liberal's that bad. But anyway, thank you very much for being with us tonight, sir. Appreciate your
By the way,
You're still a good
I
guy,
do.
Alan.
I think
I'm with you,
I think
Senator.
the country may have seen it my way or last week. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. Coming up.